Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today, as you can see, we are making over some Sims. So this is going to be a speed cast video. And the Sims that we're remaking today is the Roomies household from The Sims 4, obviously. And I don't think I've ever remade them. I don't know if I've ever remade them just like by myself off of recording. I don't think I have, so yeah, I don't know. I just decided, I don't really play a lot with like Sims and Oasis Springs that much, but well, I guess I kind of do because I play with like Johnny Zest and Don Lothario. I've played with them sometimes, so I guess I do sometimes play with the Sims there, but I don't play with this household that like at all. I don't think I've ever played with them, so yeah, I decided that I was going to make them over. And yeah, I think we'll get a little bit into like the lore in this video, as much as, as much lore as they have for the household, because Sims 4 tends to not have as much lore for their households as previous games. So we'll get into that, but yeah. First, we're doing one of the roommates, which is Gavin Richards, and I'm pretty sure they're all young adults. I'm pretty sure all of them are young adults, and it's supposed to be very like TV sitcom roommates kind of vibes for this household. And when I was looking at Gavin Richards' traits, he's like neat, a bro, and creative, and I think he wants to be a writer. And I don't know, for some reason, like the way I don't know if it's like the brown sweater combo thing that he has underneath this like jacket, and like his traits of like wanting to be a writer and everything. But I just thought of Wyatt from the show 16. I don't know if anyone is going to get that reference, but he reminded me of Wyatt a little bit. So I know that Wyatt in that show, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to want to be like a singer-songwriter. If my memory is right, I'm pretty sure that's what he wants to do, but I mean, that's still writing. I don't know. For some reason, I got Wyatt vibes from him. So, yeah, I tried to channel that a little bit when I was making him. I think it just kind of came up in my head and I was kind of going in that direction a little bit. But yeah, for him specifically, I'm going to go on the Sims Wiki and we'll look at each person as I'm doing their little, I don't know, makeover or whatever you want to call it. But Gavin Richards is obviously a pre-made playable sim living in Oasis Springs, and he lives with the three roommates, Zoe Patel, Mitchell Kalani, and Jay Huntington III. And he's a young adult and 28 days away from becoming an adult. So it seems like they're like freshly into their young adult years when you first go inside of this household. Yeah, and apparently, according to the trivia on the Sims Wiki, it says that Gavin and his roommates appear to be based on the lead characters from the sitcom New Girl, a US television series about an eccentric young woman named Jess and her three male roommates. If you've seen New Girl, then you'll know how like funny that show is. It's one of the shows that I kind of rewatch every so often. I don't know, it's just really funny, and the characters are really funny in that show. But I guess I can kind of see it, because Zoe Patel, I think one of her traits is, I think she's cheerful and stuff like that, which obviously is very Jess coded if you've seen the show. They say that on the wiki that Gavin's supposed to be mostly to resemble Winston, and then Mitchell is supposed to be Nick, and then Jay Huntington is supposed to be Schmidt. So I guess I can kind of see that through these characters. You can kind of see those personalities coming through. But like I said, I was kind of thinking about Wyatt from 16 when I made Gavin. So yeah, I really just tried to, base it off of what their traits were, and how like I only gave them the first like everyday outfit just because I don't know, doing like every single outfit for a creative sim, I don't think it's that important. I don't know. I just usually don't. I know some people do every outfit. But I just did the first everyday outfit because I feel like it would just take too long, honestly, to do every single outfit for each person. And there's like 4 people in this household, so I just thought I was going to do the first one. So yeah, I was kind of going back and forth between doing something a little bit more preppy and then sporty because he is a bro, because he has that trait. But then he's also creative and wants to, you know, do some kind of creative writing. So I was trying to go like right on the edge of like being bro-ish, but still being kind of, I don't know, like a creative, intellectual kind of vibe. So I went like right on the border, I think, with both those, just kind of like casual, creative kind of vibe. Because I think that what he was wearing originally with like the sweater and the button up underneath of like this blazer was a little bit too dressy in my opinion for his personality. Like, he's a neat sim, but just because you're neat doesn't mean that you're dressing like super, I don't know, maybe it's just fancy to me, I guess, to wear a blazer every day. So I decided to give him something a bit more casual looking, especially because he has like that bro trait, and I feel like, I don't know, not that you can't be a bro, I guess, if you dress fancy, but I just pictured something different for him. But yeah, now we're obviously on to Jay Huntington the third. And this sim, as it said in the Sims wiki, is supposed to resemble or have some kind of similarity to Schmidt from New Girl, which you can kind of get. He's got that same kind of polished, I guess, look. And I did also kind of stray away from that with Jay Huntington, only because he's supposed to be like wanting to be a bodybuilder, like that's his lifetime aspiration, and he's athletic and he's a bro. So I went a little bit more on the athletic side of an aesthetic, I guess, for him, or like a fashion sense. Yeah, I kind of strayed away from the whole old money aesthetic with like the sweater wrapped around his neck that he originally had with like the button up. So I went a bit more casual, I guess. And yeah, the trivia for him, according to the Sims wiki, is that his surname is likely a reference to the legally blonde character Werner Huntington III. I didn't even catch that, actually. It's a good movie, but I haven't seen that in like honestly a while. I should probably rewatch that, but I did not catch that reference. And then it says the same thing that Gavin said, which is that he's supposed to be like based on a character from New Girl. So yeah, there's not like that much going on here. I don't know if they're supposed to have some kind of like romance or something with Zoe Patel. I don't think they do. I mean, we all know that in The Sims 4 in general, but also specifically like in the base game, there isn't a whole bunch of like background for the characters a lot of the time. So we don't really get a good idea of like what the dynamic in the household is. Actually, is there a... because usually they have the like little description. Oh yeah, the household description says, this household seems to have stepped right out of a TV sitcom. What wacky misadventures will the perky Zoe, easygoing Mitchell, uptight ladies man Jay, and intellectual Gavin suffer this week? Tune in and find out. So they're really like going heavy-handed on the like whole sitcom New Girl kind of thing for the household. So yeah, it doesn't say like their relationship dynamics. I don't even think they have relationship like points with each other, like whether it's like more romantic or friendly or whatever. I don't know if they have that in this household, to be honest. I don't think I checked before that, so I don't know. But knowing the way it was in the base game, they probably don't. So you could really do any kind of story, I guess, with these Sims. But you know, they're supposed to be roommates all living together. And if I know anything from playing Sims that are like roommates in their young adult era in Sims games, there's usually some kind of, you know, drama that transpires. At least it usually is like that when I play with them. I remember I had like this one household when I was playing Sims 3, and they were a bunch of like young adults in a house. They're all roommates, and I think I had 3 girls and 3 guys. And I remember there being a whole bunch of drama. This was like years ago when I was a teenager, but I just remember like people having fights with each other all the time, and like 2 people liked the same person, and then there was drama over that in the household, and like every time they flirted they'd get upset with each other, and it was like this whole thing. But I haven't played like just a young adult kind of household in a hot minute, like roommates kind of thing. So maybe I should do that, honestly, because I've just played a lot of like generational kind of gameplay, so it's a lot of like families and stuff like that and building up. And like I do obviously play like the kids while they're young adults and living their life until they like find a partner or whatever at some point, but yeah, it usually just goes the route of them like having kids and stuff like that and like a family. And yeah, I haven't played just like a regular like roommates kind of household in a while, so maybe I should do that at some point and play that out, because it is always usually very dramatic. And if you're somebody who likes to play with gameplay mods and have like custom traits and like relationship buffs, and I know there's like one mod where they'll have like an initial first impression. I don't even know what that mod is, to be honest. I always see it in people's gameplay videos. But they'll have like first impressions of each other. So if they meet somebody like at a bar or something, it'll like, and they like meet each other, it'll come up and say like what they think about the other person. Like they'll think they're vain or shallow or interesting or something like that. So that adds like a whole little, you know, a little spice to the gameplay. And then if you're somebody who uses mods for like relationship things, I think Wonderful Whims has a like an attraction system, so you can set like your Sims attraction preferences, and then when you get into the game, if they find somebody or like see somebody that's on the same lot that has those traits that you set for them to be attracted to, they'll be attracted to them, and then you can kind of go from there. You know, they can spot somebody from across the bar and look into their eyes and be like, that's the person for me, and play that whole thing out. But I think it's a fun thing to do, to play a young adult household. I don't do it that often in more recent years, but maybe I should get back into it, you know, get into the drama. It's kind of like a reality TV show in a way when you play like that. But yeah, I kind of like talked mostly over the part of Mitchell, but I think I just like pretty much stuck with his vibe. He's got I think he wants to be a comedian, if I'm not mistaken, and he's lazy, a bro, and outgoing, I believe is the traits. And yeah, so I kind of mostly just kept his vibe the same pretty much, in terms of like his overall vibe and what he's wearing and all that stuff. But yeah, you can probably tell I have like a certain formula that I've gotten used to when I'm making Sims nowadays. There's like a specific like specific parts of CC that I put on my Sims now. It usually goes like skin, face shine, blush, the under eye bags, and then like a lip overlay, and then that's pretty much it. I just do that for like every single Sim. Yeah, it's just kind of like the style I guess I've been doing the absolute most with these days. So it's kind of like nice because it streamlines the create a Sim process a little bit more, because if I feel like before I just had too much in my mods folder for CAS, and it just became really overwhelming to go in and make Sims. I guess like, I don't know, if you have like too many choices, I think it's just hard if you're somebody who gets decision fatigue like me and struggles to decide what they're going to eat in the morning. So yeah, if you're somebody who gets decision fatigue and you're having a hard time making Sims or households, or even just like decorating stuff in the game, because you know the game has quite a bit of content at this point because it's been like over 10 years, And if you have CC on top of that, sometimes it can just get a lot. So if you want to downsize your folder, that's probably a good idea, because I found that when I downsized my CAS folder, it just streamlined the process a lot more, and I feel like I can make Sims a lot easier, and I follow almost the same formula. Like, obviously make them look different, they'll have different presets and skin tones and eye colors and all that jazz, but like what I put on them and like the order I put it on them is pretty much the same. And that just makes it a lot faster than, you know, scrolling through hundreds of things that I don't really ever click on or use. And yeah, it's just nice to have what you actually use in your game. So if you're somebody who is struggling with that, definitely do a folder clean out and, you know, keep whatever you know that you're going to use, that you always reach for. And you'll know what you always reach for when you're going to clean it out and you think, oh, I want to keep that one blush because I love that blush and I always use it, or I really love that hair and I use it all the time. Then you'll be able to know, like, okay, I want those specific things in the folder. And it just makes it a lot easier to get rid of stuff that you're not going to actually use and then it's just like taking up space. So yeah, definitely would recommend doing that. But as you can see, we're on to Zoe Patel, and I had like a hard time making her, not because like, it's not really for any really like particular reason, it was just mostly the hair. I feel like I had a hard time choosing what hair to use, so unless I cut it out the amount of time it took me to choose a hair, you're gonna see me really struggle to find a hairstyle that I liked on her. That happens to me sometimes, because there's some, like, I don't know, there's some Sims that like their eyes look further down or further up, and so it seems like they have less or more like cranial space, I guess. And then it just like looks kind of strange with certain hairs and the way it sits on the Sim's head. So I kept going back and forth on a hairstyle for her, and I kept trying to like figure out whether I wanted to have her hair down or up, because I really liked it up. But I also wanted something that suited her, and there's a lot of hairs that I was putting on her that looked, I don't know, like, I guess because she has like the cheerful kind of goofball trait, that I didn't want her hair to look very, I don't know how to describe it. I want to say like serious, but, and maybe that's like stupid to describe a hairstyle as, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like really perfectly like coiffed and curled or like straightened. I didn't want it to be like too harsh, I guess. I wanted it to feel a little bit like more youthful kind of feeling, and so I kind of struggled getting one that I think suited her. And I also struggled with her lip shape a lot, so that was like, I don't know, that was weird. I was like in a little bit of a rut, but I get to it eventually, and she does end up turning out okay. So yeah, I don't think I really got that much else to say, to be honest. We already kind of looked at the Sims wiki. There's not that much in their background, so it's kind of hard to really dive into it, because obviously they're not a family or like a household that has a whole bunch of lore like how some NPCs have in the game. So yeah, there wasn't like a whole bunch to go off of. I pretty much just, you know, based their looks and everything off of their traits and stuff like that. But yeah, as you can see, I'm struggling right now with trying to choose her lip shape. It took me a while. Yeah, I don't know, I just couldn't get it to look a certain way, and I wanted her to have like kind of soft, youthful, innocent kind of looking features, because I thought that would suit her personality more. So I gave her eyebrows that were less angled, and kind of like a softer shape, because I think that suits her a bit more. And yeah, and then I'm just like struggling with the mouth shape for like a really hot minute, and then I struggle with her hair, and then eventually we get there. We get to the end, and I think she turned out pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty much all of them, all of the household members. And if you want to download them, then the download link is in the description as always. And I hope that you get some use out of them, or just enjoyed watching this video. and I will see you hopefully in the next one. Bye!